Tonight, making contact. A Victorian COVID tracing team arrives in Sydney to study how New South Wales is doing it better. But the Premier's standing firm on the curfew as today's case numbers drop below 50. It's beginning to feel not like Christmas, a warning about supermarket supplies, and Myer cancels its famed window display. A $50 million cash splash for tourism, but operators say they'll need the borders open to make it work. America's growing wildfire disaster, children among the victims as entire towns disappear in flames. And the battle for big stakes as the Cats and the Tigers prepare for a Friday night blockbuster.
This is 10 News First Melbourne with Jennifer Keyte.
Good evening. First, the Premier has doubled down on Melbourne's strict curfew amid criticism over who ordered it. It comes
News
as
First.
Well, now here's Stephen with some crucial details about this year's grand final at the Gabba.
Yes, Jen, we knew it was going to be a night grand final. Now the AFL has officially announced that kick-off will be 7:30 p.m. Melbourne Daylight Saving Time. That's 6:30 in Queensland on Saturday, October 24. The league says that will provide an optimum time for fans. Plenty of footy coming up in sport as the Giants get tough, dropping Stephen Cornelio with Toby Green hoping to provide the punch as stand-in skipper.
Thanks, Stephen. Coming up in 10 News First, a family's plea for help after Japan suspends its search for a sunken cattle ship. And from the Avengers to Game of Thrones, tributes flow following the death of veteran TV actor Diana Rigg.
News First.
Well, let's take a look at the traffic now. Jess Miller is in the chopper.
Thanks, Jen. Taking a flight over Box Hill South in the Carbone Lawyers traffic chopper. This is the intersection of Middleborough Road and Canterbury Road. We were seeing huge delays through here earlier due to a bike incident. All of that congestion has now eased off and most of the emergency services have left the scene. Looks like just a few police chatting to witnesses now, so no hold-ups if you need to travel through here. Also just have word of a smash on the Montage freeway citybound before the tunnel, so we'll fly over there and have a look for you. Jen?
Thank you, Jess. And ahead in 10 News First, America's catastrophic wildfires claim more lives, thousands of homes, even entire communities. And another fireball in Lebanon sends a shudder through an already shattered city.
And shortly, I get to say for the final time, it's Friday, it's 5:30, time to give a dog a home. And we talk weather.
And now here's Mike with a look ahead to the weather.
Yeah, thank you, Jen. Good evening. As expected, a sunny start to a fairly cloudy afternoon. Fairly windy also, with rain on the agenda over the weekend. 11 the overnight low, around 20 degrees this afternoon. And tonight, we're at the Lost Dogs home in North Melbourne, a relationship forged some 15 years ago. And yeah, all those years back, I came up with this catchphrase. Staff? It's Friday. It's 5:30. Time to give a dog a home. Big dogs and small dogs, old dogs and young dogs, all getting a second chance at a happy life, around 600. So thank you to all of you who have rescued these dogs. But it doesn't always go to plan, especially working with cats. And then for the all-important weekend, it will be cooler, it'll be cloudy, maybe some spots of rain. Okay, this is one-year-old Banjul, a beautiful beagle, wants to go to your place. Of course, all the details at dogshome.com. Got the forecast in full at 5:55 plus 6:25, and that's when I'll be saying farewell. Jen.
Always loved that segment. Thank you, Mike. Still to come, we'll have the day's finance and move over muster as Australia's rodeo capital welcomes racing's greatest prize.
Good evening. Citigroup has made Wall Street history today. It's named Jane Fraser as its next CEO. She'll be the first female to lead a global bank. Fraser's a 16-year veteran of the bank, and she'll now lead Citi's efforts to manage the economic fallout from the pandemic. In the most recent quarter, Citi's profits plunged 73%, and it was forced to set aside more than $7 billion to cover potential losses. Now, executives at Metcash, the wholesaler that keeps IGA's shelves full of groceries, is worried about what Victoria's continued lockdown will mean for Christmas, saying it'll be very difficult to cater for the festive season's increase in demand and that it's hard to catch up, let alone to get in front, particularly for regional areas. IGA has joined Woolworths' call for supermarket chains to be allowed to operate at full capacity and not just the 2/3 limit that's currently in place. Now, today all eyes were on Rio stocks after news its chief executive, Jean-Sébastien Jacques, will exit the company alongside two other execs linked to the destruction of an ancient Aboriginal site in May. In response to the move, the Australasian Centre for Corporate Responsibility said shareholder democracy and investor action is alive and well in Australia. So let's take a look at the markets. The ASX finished in the red. Now, that's the fourth straight weekly loss. Now, Rio took a small hit, but that was expected given it was investors pushing for accountability. And the Australian dollar is buying just under 73 US cents.
Antoinette Lattouf reporting there. Well, she was the only Bond girl to make an honest man of 007, and she rocked a leather pantsuit on The Avengers. Dame Diana Rigg has died aged 82, but was winning new fans right to the end.
Dame Diana Rigg knew how to make a first.
Well, Jess Miller's in the traffic chopper. Let's get an update on our roads.
Thank you, Jen. Over Brighton in the Carbone Lawyers traffic chopper. Look, we heard crowds were gathering along the Esplanade near Dendy Street, so we thought we'd fly over to see what was going on. And sure enough, we spotted an Australian television legend, Mike Larkin, and his crew at Brighton Beach. So if you're travelling through here anytime soon, make sure you beep your horn and make lots of noise for Mike Larkin. Back soon with more actual traffic, Jen.
Great report. Thank you, Jess. Well, now here's Stephen with Friday Sport and a massive game tonight on the Gold Coast.
It sure is, Jen. It's the heavy hitters, the Cats against the Tigers. We'll cross live for a preview. Also, the Giants drop their skipper, a star demon out for the year. The Saints send out an SOS. And so long Serena beaten in 3 sets in the US Open semis. Good evening. It's looming as one of the games of the season with the Cats and Tigers doing battle on the Gold Coast tonight. Tim Morgan is there. Tim, will the teams try and keep their powder dry ahead of the finals?
Good evening, Stephen. No, I spoke to both camps this afternoon. They're certainly not holding anything back. This will be a full dress rehearsal, one final thorough examination before the final series. It's a pretty important clash for both teams too. Geelong still in the top 2 hunt. As for Richmond, well, it is expected they need to win out if they are to earn the double chance. So we haven't seen these two teams play each other since last year's preliminary final. We all know how that went, with Richmond winning on their way to, obviously, the premiership. Geelong, in fact, has lost 4 of its last 5.
Foggy face shield. Big wave surfer Maya Gabeira loves taking on walls of water. At Portugal's Monster Break Nazaré, Maya broke her own world record for the largest wave surfed by a female. Her new benchmark, 22.4 metres, or in the old language, 73.5 feet. Whatever the lingo word, is courage. Maya boasting more than enough to surf away with our play of the day. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, Stephen. Well, Mike's back with the weather and we're looking at a wet weekend.
Comedian Steph Tisdall is bringing her laughs online.
Tonight's weather report is proudly brought to you by Memories. Memories.com.au, where memories keep living.
It's just raining fire.
There's nothing left.
And there was flames all over us.
What would you then say is a fair criteria for your actions and that of your team to be judged?
The whole mountain gateway.
What sort of runs do you mind?
I just knew that I was about to die.
10 News First Person. Available now on 10 Speaks or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. Now it's over to Mike for the weather.
Yeah, thank you, Jen. Good evening. Two more weathers to go now and also 6:25. And we begin with a magnificent sweeping shot down here at the Brighton Baths on not a bad old Friday night. A lot of people asking, so what happens next week? What happens from Monday? Well, firstly, I'll start losing those corona kilos. And then I've got to help Dan for me surviving the pandemic. Not Dan Andrews, Dan Murphy's. A couple of photos now that have been sent to Mike's Picks at network10.com.au. Remember a kid pointing me out to his dad once and he said, hey, there's Mike's Picks. Because I say a couple of photos that have been sent to Mike's Picks, that kid thought my name was Mike's Picks. Anyway, first up we've got Casper in Glen Waverley. Very cute. Thank you, Cassandra. And here's a trio of troublemakers. Well, surely not. It's Coda, Jeddah and Chili. And thank you to Cara for that particular photo. So it was a sunny start to a grey old afternoon, a little blowy, 11 degrees the overnight low, but 19 this afternoon, so no real complaints there. But we have a lot of rain on the way late tonight into tomorrow, early Sunday. Outside right now, or should I say Friday night in your city, 17 degrees, the humidity at 45%. And why is it warm? We've got a northerly, but currently blowing at 17 kilometres per hour. Around Melbourne today, and most temperatures were closer than average, mainly between 19 and 21 degrees this afternoon. Across our state, well, to wrap up my working week. Minimums not at Malakuta. I just wanted to say Malakuta for the last time. Anyway, it was -2. That was at Mount Hotham. I wish it was at Mount Balbor, but it was not. 55 or 25 today's top in Mildura and Walpia, and there was no rain today. Around Australia, over in Perth, 20 degrees. Likewise in Hobart, in between at Adelaide, 29 degrees. Up in Brisbane, 23, a bit of rain falling there last night. Sydney, 21 degrees. And in Canberra, where a guy at a clock found it time consuming. It's for the kids, 18 degrees. And when I tell a dad's joke, and it's not that funny, I always say for the kids to sort of get it away from me. The weather charts, a cold front and associated low are on the way for a colder and a very wet day tomorrow. Showers clearing Sunday, but not really warming up until mid next week. Tomorrow, the great indoors will be the go. The rainfall chart, and we love the rain. A band from Horsham, Ballarat to Melbourne tomorrow will trigger 20 to 40 welcome millimetres of rain. So that is great news. Over to Adelaide for the weekend, a soggy Saturday, around 20 degrees with 10 mils of rain. Sunday sort of similar. Hobart a wet weekend, 14 degrees and then 16 degrees on Sunday. Up in Brisbane, a 23 and 24 degree weekend. Sydney, 23 then 22, and in Canberra, who cares? Across our state, rain, glorious rain. Best falls in the Wimmera, the central districts and parts of the southwest. 15 to 40 millimetres of rain, 5 to 15 for most other parts bar the east. Patchy morning fogs in the southwest and the northeast. Shepparton a top of 20, Bendigo 17, Ballarat a chilly 9 to 12 degrees. Mind you, up in the Mallee, 28 degrees the maximum. Let's have a look at the radar now, and you can see we've got showers now moving into western parts of Victoria. The heavier rain, in fact, will be the back of it. Tomorrow, a strong wind warning for Port Phillip. All good, I guess, for kite surfers. Around Melbourne, mild tonight. Cooler tomorrow. The rain getting heavier as the day grows older. Frankston, 12 to 16 degrees. In Geelong, 11 to 16. At Mount Dean, 9 to 11. In the Yarra Valley, 10 to 15. On the bays, northerly winds to 30 knots. They'll turn southerly to 15. Waves about 1.5 metres. The sun rising at 6:24, when I'm sure a lot of you will still be asleep. Okay, and now the forecast for our wonderful City by the Bay. Guys, you've got to yell out, City by the Bay!
City by the Bay!
Now, I actually grabbed that line years ago from an old song called We Built This City. Okay, grey and almost warm this evening. Overnight we'll hear the pitter-patter of rain. That'll get heavier tomorrow, heavier still in the afternoon. 13 to 16 degrees, 20 to 35 millimetres of rain. So that's about half the September average in one day. Tomorrow will be an average sort of day. So on to Sunday, early showers, but it will be a sunny afternoon for your hours entertainment or walking. 11 to 17, light southwesterly winds. On to Monday, 10 to 17, partly cloudy. A 20% chance of a shower in eastern suburbs. The wind turning west-southwesterly to 25 knots. On to Tuesday, 8 to 16, partly cloudy. Patchy morning fogs in the northeast suburbs. On to Wednesday, wow, nice, 9 to 23, but it will be a little cloudier. Thursday, it looks like we've got rain returning around 20 degrees. And then Friday, 13 to 21. I'll be back with the forecast in full at 6:25.
Yes, we'll have a special look back at Mike's fabulous 25 years with 10 in just under half an hour. But now, developing stories we're following tonight. A Victorian COVID tracing team in Sydney to study why New South Wales does it better. A far from normal festive season with much-loved Christmas events cancelled because of COVID. And forgotten and under financial stress, the small businesses hit hardest by our harsh lockdown rules. Police will be out in force across the city this weekend with anti-lockdown protesters set to take their frustration to the streets yet again. Candice Wyatt joins us live now. Candice, the Assistant Commissioner has delivered a strong warning to anyone planning to break lockdown laws.
He has indeed, Jen, because just a week after massive protests in Melbourne resulted in 17 arrests and dozens...
Well, Jess Miller is in the traffic chopper. Let's get an update on our roads.
Thank you, Jen, and good evening again. We've spotted some crews on scene for a breakdown on the Westgate Bridge, checking it out now in the Carbone Lawyers traffic chopper. Not doing too much damage in terms of traffic, just a couple of lanes blocked for the outbound trip. But out in Baxter, we've had word of a collision on Frankston Flinders Road. That's near the Mornington Peninsula Freeway. Emergency services are on scene, and it is looking quite heavy with traffic through there, so that is definitely the area to avoid for now. Back to you, Jen.
OK, thank you, Jess. Stephen's back now with sport, and the Giants have dropped their skipper.
They have, Jen. They've run out of patience with Stephen Cornelio. Toby Green tipped to be stand-in skipper. We're live to the Gold Coast to preview the Cats v the Tigers. And here's a pick with a difference as a Tiger, a Cat and a Saint prepare for their returns. Adam Zampa and Ashton Agar. And that's it from me, Jen.
Thank you, Stephen. Mike will be back after the break with a 7-day forecast. Welcome back. Now Mike's here with the weather.
Yeah, thank you, Jen. Good evening once again. And here it is. After 25 wonderful years, I say good night. It's been fabulous. We've done all sorts of things all around Melbourne. And I've got my kids, Adam and Grace, off camera. We'll introduce you to them in a moment. A couple of photos now that have been sent to Mike's Picks, our last ones, in fact. Mike's Picks at network10.com.au. And first up, wearing sunnies, looking damn cool. That is Hanzo in Paran, enjoying some time in the backyard. Thank you, Demi. And from Sandy, here's Zoe, who I really hope likes getting dressed up. Well, temperature-wise today, 11 degrees was the overnight low, 19 degrees the maximum, so both a bit above the average. A bit of sunshine this morning, some cloud this afternoon, rain later tonight into tomorrow. Friday night in your city, love saying that, 17 degrees. The humidity about 45%, and the wind all day today has been a northerly, currently blowing at 12 kilometres per hour down here at Brighton Beach. Around Melbourne today, having a look at some of those numbers, no complaints yesterday or again today. Most temperatures between 19 and 21 degrees mid-afternoon. Across our state, -2 was the overnight low. That occurred up in the Alps, and 25 today's top in the Mallee, and has been a dry day today. Around this mighty big country of ours today, 20 degrees in both Hobart and Perth, a degree warmer up in Sydney, 23 in Brisbane, a bit of rainfall in there last night, and Adelaide just simply showing off, 29 degrees over there today. To Adelaide tomorrow will be a soggy Saturday, around 9 degrees cooler, so 20 degrees with around 10 millimetres of rain. Hobart's in for a wet weekend, not a lot of rain, but it'll be happening 14 and then 16 on Sunday. Up in Brisbane, a 23, 24 degree weekend. Sydney tomorrow, 22, 23 on Sunday, and Canberra, a little bit like it was today. Across our state, we've got some good rains on the way. There'll be, well, farmers dancing in the street. We've got the best falls in the Wimmera, the Central Districts and parts of the southwest. 15 to 40 millimetres of rain, 5 to 15 though for most other parts, bar the east, a bit less there. Patchy morning fogs in the southwest and the northeast, getting up to 28 degrees tomorrow up in the northwest of our state. Let's have a look at the radar. And we're always happier when we see showers. We've got rain moving across from Western Victoria, and we've got the heavier rain at the back of that tomorrow afternoon. A strong wind warning tomorrow for the Port Phillip area. Around Melbourne, remaining mild tonight for catching up with one friend, perhaps. Cooler tomorrow, the rain getting heavier as the day grows older. Frankston 12 to 16, Geelong 11 to 16, and of course, remaining within that 5k radius. On the bays tomorrow, northerly winds to 30 knots. They will turn southerly to 15. Waves about 1.5 metres. And now the forecast for our city by the bay. Yeah, grey and almost warm this evening. Overnight we'll hear some rain. The rain getting heavier tomorrow afternoon. 20 to 35 mils is likely, so that's about half this month's average in one day, 13 to 16 degrees. On to Sunday, early showers and then a sunny afternoon, 11 to 17. Monday again 17. Tuesday 16 degrees. And Wednesday back into the 20s. Happy about that. 9 to 23 degrees. Still a bit of cloud about. Maybe a late shower at night. Thursday 20. Return of some showers, and this time next week around 21 degrees. So there you have it. Nothing much else to say, so I'll throw back to you in the studio, Jen.
Thank you so much, Mike, and we just want to wish you well. After 25 years at Channel 10, I have loved your work with all the schools, the festivals around Melbourne and your Give a Dog a Home. It was a classic.
You there, Mike? I think Mike's gone. I've got to say that Mike was an unbelievable performer live. I've worked with him for all those 25 years, Jen. Oh, you are listening, Michael, that you might have done a runner.
Not yet. The champagne's over there, though.
I've worked with you for the 25 years, mate. You're a great performer live. You're the best in the business, and I'm really going to miss you, except for one thing, your crappy jokes. Am I allowed to say that on television?
And that's the way they will remain. Look, I want to very quickly, if I may, say thank you to everybody at home for inviting me into your lounge room for the last 25 years and more recently the iPhones. It's been a pleasure sort of showing off our wonderful city. Things are a bit quiet now, but of course things will pick up next year. So I really do thank you for inviting me into your place. And also I've been able to promote charities, events, big events, small events. And yeah, I'm leaving with some wonderful memories at Channel 10.
All class, all the way, Mike, and we just want to say thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say anything anymore, but look, rain is on the way, but I'm thinking if I get to work on Monday, oh, that's why I don't get to work, so even if it's wrong, it doesn't matter now. Remembering it's always a forecast, not a promise.
Good on you, mate.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks. The bushfire season as such does kick off today until the end of February. OK, you can put out the fire. Isn't this a romantic setting? Venice on the Yarra. Weather details shortly from Rippinley with Ripley, the kids and their teddies. From the Glenwaver Police Academy, from Hampton Beach inside State Library Victoria, from South Bank tonight, from Princes Pier. And it's a lovely but windy day on the bay. Time to give a dog a home.
For more than 15 years, Give a Dog a Home has been part of Victorians' lives. Every Friday at 5:30. Mike was committed, no matter how big the breed, how small or in between, to making sure they got the best possible homes. On behalf of everyone here at the Lost Dogs Home, Mike, thank you. On behalf of every animals here like Sid, we will miss you.
Rain, hail or shine, that's how Melbourne delivers its weather.
On behalf of everyone at the Bureau, wishing you all the best for the future. We're really sad to see you go. You've been such a great communicator of our forecasts and warnings. Not just that, you've been a pleasure to talk to every day.
Ah, with the family.